Sarah here from Miracle Wood Outdoor. Now I've been asked to do this video by my good friend Kay from up in Somerset with Holly Hawthorn Forest School, so hi to you all up there. And this is a video that uses this plant here. This is New Zealand Flax. It grows really well down here in the southwest. Obviously, originally it came from New Zealand. Now the people in New Zealand, known as the Maori, they use this plant for everything, from building boats to making clothes to absolutely everything. It's a really versatile plant, and that's because it's very fibrous and it's very strong, and it grows really well in that wet climate that they've got there on some of the islands and that we've got here in Cornwall. So today we're going to make a bracelet or bangle from the New Zealand flax. So you're going to need some New Zealand flax. Now it's a good idea to only cut what you're going to need. I cut this yesterday and it's still okay to use today and probably will be tomorrow, but it starts to curl up on the edges, as you can see, as it dries out, so you need to cut it fresh. So there's our New Zealand flax. You're going to need a pair of scissors and a couple of pegs. Thing you're going to need to do is split the leaf or frond of the New Zealand flax all the way down the middle like that. Now, some interesting facts about New Zealand flax. Sometimes you get this sort of goo like jelly stuff down here in the bottom of the leaf, and this is actually used as a medicine, but be careful because obviously with most medicines you need to know how much to use. This one can cause really bad diarrhea, but the roots from this plant are used to stop diarrhea. So it's like 2 in 1. So be careful when you're using it. If you get this on your hands, make sure you wash your hands before you eat anything. So we've split our New Zealand flax in two, and we're going to use not the very thickest part down here, but this part in here. And what we want to do is cut a strip of the New Zealand flax that is long enough to go around our wrist twice. Now, just like Blue Peter, here's one I prepared earlier. So this is going to be thickness of my bangle, and this one can go round my wrist at least twice, like that. Test it on your wrist, make sure it's the right sort of size. You can make it a little bit smaller, but just make sure you can get that. You can get it around your wrist. Okay, once you've done that, you're going to need to peg it in place. So you need to peg it, there we go, here's the pegs, so that you've got a strip that goes all the way around that is not pegged. That makes sense. So this strip here goes all the way around, wouldn't quite, I'm going to have to peg it there. And I'm going to peg it here. That way this bit here can go all the way around back to where I started with a little bit to spare. Okay, once you've done that, you need the scissors again, and now we're going to cut this strip here into several lengths. You want them to be reasonably even. And on your first one, don't make them too thin. So you want at least 3 strips. 5 or 7 is better, gives a better effect. Depends how dexterous you are. There we go. So that's be 4. Let's see if I can get that into 5. Odd numbers tend to look better. There we go. How many have we got so far? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to have to maybe split this one here into 2. Excuse the traffic noise. It's very busy here in Cornwall this summer. So that gives us 5. Because I split that one into 2, I'm going to split this one into 2 as well. So that gives me 7. Okay, so there's our 7 strips. Hopefully you can see those. Right, reasonably even, and they go all the way to the peg. Okay, I'm going to put that one down a sec. So what you need to do now is you need to cut thin strips out of another piece of the flax, either the other half of the one that you've done or a different piece. As you can see, some of them have some nice colours on, so I'm going to try to make use of that. Cut the end off, and then I'm going to cut that up through here. Nice thin strip. Try to keep it the same width all the way along. Don't go too far down into this is where it was growing into the ground, because this is much thicker and it's harder for you to weave. So once it starts to get a bit thicker, cut that one off. Okay, so you got strips like this. What you do then is you put the strip underneath all of those, and I'll see if I can show you this actually from this angle. Let's have a look. All right, okay, so this strip is going to tuck in underneath all of those to start off with, and then it goes through the inside of your bangle. Now what you have to do is every other one of these you're going to bend back. So that one, oops, and that one on the end. Okay, hopefully they will bend back to about the same point. Okay, right, like that. Then take this strip and feed it over the top. Push each of these back down, like that. This one goes through the middle again and out to here. Now this time you want to do the opposite strips, so fold those back, that one, and this one, like that. I just hold them down with my thumb. This then goes all the way over the top again, like that, and through the middle. As you can see here, when you go through the middle, you don't come out on top of this one that you've just done. You come out slightly further on, so that when you swap these over, this one, and this one, like this, it moves you along your bangle, right? And you can see I'm starting to get a pattern here already, like a checkerboard pattern. Push these back down as you go and keep going. Now you'll notice with the New Zealand flax that one side's shiny and one side's dull, and you can use that to your advantage depending on whether you want a shiny bangle or whether you want a dull bangle. Keep going all the way to the end, and I'll show you what you do when you get to the other end. Okay? Let's move this. There we go. Do, 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 do. Okay, I don't need this peg now, so I just take it out. Now, as you can see, I've run out of this strip. So all I'm going to do is peg that in place and cut another strip. Okay? Okay, to join in the new strip, just put it alongside the old strip, take your peg off, and carry on. Here we get towards the end, so take the peg off. Unfortunately, very nearly there. I think I'm probably going to call that a day. So to finish this off, take each one of these bits and weave it in to the brace that you've got already. So this bit's going to go under there, like that, and and under the next one. You might have to give it a bit of a jiggle, like that. Actually this bit, if I wedge it in there, will hold in place hopefully. So the next one then, you might need maybe something sharp to ease them under, but basically that's what you do. You just ease these ones back into the bangle. Last one. It's always the last one that's tricky. This one, I need to just pull those apart a little bit. It does get a bit tricky. You can always see this has got a bit frayed on the end. Chop it, and hopefully then you'll be able to get it underneath that one there. There's always one, and this is the one that's going to be the tricky one. Come on. There we go. Okay, so they're all held in place. You can keep going round, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to chop these off. So bend them back on themselves, chop them off, bend this one back on itself, chop it off, that one, chop it off, and this one here, chop it off, and any little loose bits like this one, this bit here, and there is our beautiful bangle, bracelet, band of power, whatever you want to call it. Okay, hopefully that's nice and clear and you can see how that's made. You can also use the same technique to make all sorts of other things like baskets and things like that. So please, if you do have a go, let me see how you get on, and hopefully this video will be clear enough. It's really sunny here, so a bit tricky to get the video nice and clear. So that's the bangle that we're making. Okay. Folks, this is the bangle that we're going to be making today, and it's made out of New Zealand flax. I'm going to show you how to do that right now.